Hey there superstars, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give, and I'm coming to you again on my second day here in the beautiful Yarra Valley. I'm really loving it. I've been staying in the city for the past week or so, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful to be out in the countryside, although I'm on a bit of a road, so you'll probably hear some cars go by, but it's super beautiful. I'll show you guys around again, but I'm actually just off a vineyard. I don't think you guys can see totally. Oh yeah, you can a little bit. Got a bit of vineyard action on the doorstep, so loving it. But I really wanted to share this message with you guys, and it's all about the fact that women shine the light so that men can be the shining knight. All right, so I really want to dive into this one, and I want to just say first, up front, that it's not just the case that women can do this for men. Absolutely, what I'm going to be talking into can go both ways. Definitely don't want to discount that, but it's a really great concept, I believe. When I work with couples, when I work with people in their relationships, this is just such a key one, that we have this misunderstanding between men and women that totally, is well-intentioned, but it gets totally in the way. So I really feel like I want to unpack it with you guys. So what it's all about is, if we start with the concept that men and women, yes, we're equal, but yes, also we're very different, right? And we think differently. We have different perspectives coming to different scenarios, different situations, different experiences, so many different things. The way that we're wired can be different. Biologically, we're different. We've got all these different factors that kind of can be in the way of us sometimes seeing eye to eye. And what I wanted to talk into in particular today is really how women tend to see things a little bit worse than they are, whereas men tend to see things a little bit better than they are. And sometimes this can get in our way when it comes to relationship. And it can oftentimes be, and I'm making massive generalizations in today's message because we're talking general men and women, right? There's so many different elements to it, but as a general rule, that's what we're talking into. A lot of times men, hang on, it's way too windy where I am. Maybe if I come around this corner. But at the end of the day, men, oftentimes this is a scenario that plays out, right? That men don't see a breakup coming. And they're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, and they can be kind of devastated by it. Whereas the women, and when you ask them about the scenario, they're kind of like, oh my gosh, this has been going on for a long period of time. And it's why a lot of times women can oftentimes have been detaching emotionally throughout the process of the relationship, and then finally get to the point where the woman has broken off the relationship, and the men are surprised by it because they were seeing things better than they were, whilst the women were oftentimes seeing things worse than they were, and that's why we can end up with that dynamic at times. But what I really want to focus on today is the amazing women and men out there who are having a breakdown in relationship because they're missing the value that the other person is trying to add to them. Now, I'm going to hone in and I'm going to focus on this particular key aspect of relationship and how we can trip ourselves up. And it's when women, honestly, the women, healthy women who are in relationship with healthy men, or men that they want to be in relationship with, all they really want is to see that man in their lives become their absolute best, step into the full strength of who they are, reach their highest potential, right? And what happens is that, we as women, if we're talking to you and if we're saying this isn't working or whatever, you got to understand that takes effort and courage, and we wouldn't be saying it if we didn't want to see the best come from you. Albeit, I'm not saying that women can, as a general rule, are awesome communicators, because we ain't, right? But you've got to look at the intention. And if you're, say, a man in relationship, or maybe you're a woman in relationship and you can relate to this, the other side of this, but when women come to the man in relationship, I'm also talking heterosexual relationships here, so I'm making massive generalizations, but take from it what you will. when women come to the man and express something that's not working, a lot of times that man can feel criticized, judged, not appreciated, all those terrible things, and not take on board any of that stuff in a positive, potential raising way, right? They can feel defeated, they can rebel, they can reject that, and they can pull away, and all sorts of things can happen, right? But that woman in the healthiest version of her coming to the man and expressing what's not working is her shining a light on an element that, if readjusted, is going to help, that man, her, the relationship expand to a whole new level, right? It's why women shining the light can be, helping the man become the shining knight, right? Stepping into a higher capacity, stepping into a higher level of his potential, stepping into a higher level of his growth and progress, right? And so why I wanted to kind of shine the light on this particular issue in relationships, so that the man can become the shining knight? No, well, maybe, but ultimately I see so many of us tripping ourselves up in relationship, and two beautiful individuals who love each other and want to be with each other, who are committed to being in relationship with one another, can just miss the boat completely when there's a scenario where somebody's shining light on a negative, and the other person can see that as them bringing them down, or not appreciating them, or judging them, or criticizing them, and we take this negative experience and we place this negative meaning on what's actually very well intentioned. And if we can take that personal attack out of it, and we can glean it for the value that it may have, the truth that it may hold, then we can ultimately use it for a pathway of shifting, changing, shining light on those blind spots, so that they don't have to trip us up and become those weaknesses, and we can actually develop a pathway forward that will allow us to reach our highest potential. Like I said at the beginning of this video, absolutely, men can do this same exact thing for the women in their lives, or if you're in, homosexual relationships, a man doing for another man, woman doing for another woman. It doesn't even have to be an intimate relationship. In any realm, we are blind to our blind spots, right? Hence the name. And if we have people that we value in our lives, that we respect in our lives, that we want to move forward in relationship with in our lives, then we want to be able to listen to them. We want to be able to take the value from the communication that they're giving us, and see if we can work with that. We don't want to discount it. We don't want to stay stuck in a comfy bubble of everything's perfect and I'm perfect and there's no room for growth. That is boring and that is limiting, and I can guarantee you it's not fulfilling. We need to have a different meaning that we place on people shining a light on those areas for us to grow, and so that we can become the shining knight, or just step into a new level of our potential. So I hope that me sharing this with you guys is of value, and it's just I wanted to use it in the context of relationship, because I see this time and time again, and I've definitely been a part of it, and I've definitely had the positive side be experienced as well, where you can develop a kind of relationship where you can openly shine light on each other's blind spots in this loving way, which actually, it's priceless to the other person. Only when you have a growth mindset, not a fixed one, right? Only when you trust that other person has your best interests at heart can you listen to them and glean the value from it. So the choice is up to you, but I would value an open, trusting, truthful relationship filled with respect and honor over one that keeps each other in a bubble, and you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to upset the other person at the expense of the growth and the evolution, because you're going to end up jeopardizing the potential of your relationship in that frame of mind, in that fixed mindset, seeking comfort over growth. And so, I hope that this just reminds you or alerts you to the fact that when we shine the light, we give other people the opportunity to become the shining knight, whatever that is, reaching that new level of their potential. All right, enough from me. I really want to check in with you guys. So let me know, drop me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Say hi. Have you got any questions or comments or words of wisdom around this topic or another? I just love hearing from you guys. And I definitely want to check in and see who's been able to join me. And also, if you're not part of the monthly masterclasses and you've been living under some kind of rock, I want to alert you to the fact that the Limitless Potential Academy monthly masterclasses are accessible to you right here, right now. It's all online. We do a live training, an in-depth training, an actionable training, so that you can not just take on personal development knowledge, but you can actually develop yourself through that knowledge by making it actionable and putting it into your real life scenario. I use myself as the human guinea pig of personal development, as you guys should know by now, and I spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I travel the world. I go to all these different events. I do all these different courses. I take what's most valuable and impactful, and I systemize it and simplify it, and I put it into these masterclasses so that you guys can fast track your success in your everyday life with everything that you're already doing. So, and I make it super accessible. So if you want to learn more, the link is up above. Hope to see you in the masterclasses, and let me check in with you guys. So I've got Gregory and Tim and Gary and Con and Ram. Hello to you, my friend. And Chris is here as well. And Ram, superb framing of the title of today's topic. I love that you're loving it. I actually wrote it a few days ago. Sometimes I'm just like thinking things and then I like write everything in my notes, and I was like looking through it and I was like, yes, that's the one for today. So glad that's of value to you, Ram. And Shane's here, and Judy and John, and hello to you, beautiful Vanessa. Great to see you. So that is my message for you guys today. I'll give you a quick, I don't know if you guys can really see. I showed you guys a little bit yesterday, but it's a super beautiful day here in the Yarra Valley. We might get some rain, but I've got a vineyard going on over there. I forget what one it's actually called, but it is so nice and so beautiful at this house that I'm staying at. It's quite huge, but it's just so peaceful, and I'm doing kind of regrouping after that NLP course. So can't wait to share all those amazing insights that I've been having personally, and definitely giving you guys the tools out of NLP, that or neuro-linguistic programming, that will be super valuable for you guys, particularly you guys in the masterclasses, because I got so much coming up in store. But I want to, as always, send you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has absolutely served you, no matter what type of relationship you're in, be it intimate, friendship, business, whatever. Like, look at, those people who have the courage to speak the truth. Sometimes they're not going to be able to do it with the love and the right framing and that perfect communication, but instead of letting that get in the way, just look at your growth as that being that potentiality for them expressing the truth, and know that your growth is your freedom. Your growth and your freedom, and is really your fulfillment, right? So look at it that way and get the personal attack out of the way that's tripping you up. And I hope that today's message will do just that for you. So if it's been of value, please share it. I absolutely appreciate that so much. And thank you so much for everybody joining me live today. Love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you all tomorrow. Much love.